Hey Pile One, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Michelle, and I'm going to be your reader today. We're doing another future spouse pick a card reading, and we're just tapping into whatever messages, guidance, encouragement that they might have for you. All right, Pile One, so just keep in mind this is a general reading. Take whatever resonates, leave behind anything that doesn't, and as always, if you are ready to book a personal reading where I tap into you and your future spouse's connection, just check in the description box below for booking details. There are several $25 future spouse readings available now, okay? All right, so you guys chose the Flower of Life Orgonite puck. An Orgonite typically is used to filter the environment of dangerous, harmful EMF, radiation, energies, like a filter, kind of protective, right? This particular one is specifically for the root chakra. So there may be a sense of either wanting or needing to feel grounded. Maybe there are issues with feeling safe, issues with, trusting, setting down roots, maybe issues with the family or wanting to start a family, blocks to starting a family, things of that nature. So let's see what the overall energy here is regarding what their message to you is. And we have finding. So this particular card is all about wanting to find something more along the lines of feeling heartbroken after a loss, or maybe having troubles finding something. This could be, maybe they're wanting to talk about your journey to finding them. Maybe you feel like you're on the brink of giving up, and often it's when we give up the search is when what we're looking for tends to just magically show up, right? So we are going to delve more into what messages they might have for you. Let's see. Let's get, what messages do you have for pile one? Pile one's future spouse. Aw, forgiveness. Okay. Balance. Okay, I'm kind of just hope. I'm kind of starting to see and respect. Okay, there may be, you, pile one, may be harboring unforgiveness, resentment. There may be someone in your life, whether this is recently, or, something in the past. Your future spouse is wanting to talk to you, though, about someone you may be holding a grudge against. This may be someone in your family. It may be someone that you saw as family. It could be, someone you were engaged to, lived with, someone you may have a family with, okay? But there is a sense here that forgiveness is needed in order to bring things back to balance. And it's also gonna, when you end up forgiving the person, it'll restore, a sense of hope. And, as always, you guys, forgiveness doesn't mean that we are condoning what the other person has done. It really is for ourselves. When we forgive the other person, we are letting go of the debt that they owe us, debt that they cannot repay, right? Even if, all you're wanting to hear is, I'm sorry, I was wrong, and while it is nice to be receiving apologies, if we are holding on to unforgiveness until we receive that apology, if we're needing that in order for, to receive closure, it often sits in our energy and it does a lot of damage and chaos, or it can do a lot of damage and chaos. And so forgiving the other person, releasing them from, needing an apology. And I don't see apology here. Some of you may have actually already gotten an apology, and it's just like the apology didn't fix anything, right? It's like, how do you fix a broken vase, right? The vase itself, you can glue its pieces back together, but you can never really, it never goes back the same way again. Even when you crinkle up a piece of paper, you can't restore it to its initial smoothness. And so even an apology, that may be something your future spouses want to tell you too. It's like, even if the person did give you an apology, it's not going to fix anything, so there really kind of is this, well, maybe it is an urgency. That's what came through, coming from your future spouse, saying that balance is needing to be restored here. This may be keeping you and your future spouse's connection from manifesting or up-leveling, what have you. And it all has to point back to either, I'm hearing resentment, bitterness, forgiveness is needed. And some of you may already be working on this, right? Finding your own closure within yourself, regardless of what the other person is or is not saying or is not doing. All right, let's see what else do they want to say to you. Oh, no, this is actually the wrong deck. Okay. There's forgiveness here. Messages for pile 1, please. Stubborn. Okay. I was picking up on this energy, pile 1. Whoever it is that you're harboring unforgiveness towards definitely has you in your feelings towards them. And it can be very difficult to want to let go of that anger towards them, that sense of justification. And I totally get where you're coming from. I've been there before. Your future spouse is telling you to stop being stubborn, though, about letting this person off the hook. In a sense of, really what you're wanting from this person, you want them to repay back the debt in full, and they can't. They just can't. They cannot go back in time to undo whatever was done. Even if they were to apologize, sincerely apologize, that would give you like momentary relief, but whatever it is this person did, there is this message from your future spouse. It's like, really what you're wanting, pile 1, is you want what happened between you and this person not to ever have happened, and that unfortunately, it's a debt. It's something they cannot do. They cannot go back in time and undo what happened. That's a debt they're never going to be able to repay, even if they wanted to, right? And so your future spouse is literally coming through, and they're saying, stop being so hard-headed about holding on to this poisonous anger towards this person. It's poison for you. The anger that you're harboring against that person isn't doing anything to them as much as it's doing something to you. It's affecting your happiness. It's affecting your experience. It's, as long as you are harboring and holding on to this unforgiveness, this resentment, this anger towards this person, past person is what I'm hearing, you're the one that's hurting, and that's why your future spouse wants you to let it go, because it's like, and there's steps, of course, to take, towards that. Anger is, an energy, it's an emotion. You can let go of it. If you're not really quite sure how to do that, how to, forgive and let go, just check the description box below for my other channel. It's called Your Wish Fulfilled, and I talk all about releasing triggers, letting go of, heartache, when I say letting somebody off the hook, I'm not saying that, you're letting them know it's okay what you did to me. No, it's never going to be okay, right? Whatever happened to you, pile 1, it's not okay, right? And at the same time, not being able to forgive this person for whatever it was that happened, is that anger, that resentment, that emotion, that challenging emotion is just kind of resting in your own energy. It's affecting your creative ability as a manifester, as a co-creator in your experience. And, after a while, that energy can get stuck. It becomes a part of you. It gets embedded into your subconscious, and so you'll start to manifest more people, more relationships, more dynamics, more circumstances and events that will leave you in this experience of having to forgive somebody for wronging you, right? So your future spouse is like, let this go, get it out of your energy, get it out of your subconscious, get, release this energy from your energy so that, you can manifest them in, honestly. Okay, what is balance here? What is balance here for? And your future spouse is saying they're not condoning what happened. And they're not just saying get over it, okay? They're not saying that. They're not just saying, oh, get over it. That's not what they're saying. They're really wanting to come through to help you heal whatever this energy is, so you can move past it and, obtain your happily ever after. What's balance here for? Celebrations. I like it. Focusing on the good times. Surprise okay. So it's like once balance is restored, pile one, once you let go of this of this feeling of unforgiveness, once you forgive this past person, once you release them of the debt of paying you back, right? It's like almost instantly, because it's like it's a surprise, right? Almost instantly, you're going to be feeling a lot better. You're going to be in this energy of wanting, I feel like what I'm feeling like is the old you will be restored. You're going to be back in high spirits again. You're going to be wanting to celebrate life. I feel like things just get a lot brighter and they feel a lot lighter, right? And then we have this surprise gift here, gifts in the unexpected. What is surprise? Tell me what the surprise is. That may be surprise, you met your future spouse kind of a thing. It's like the minute you let this past person go, or you forgive whatever transgression they, did against you, really let them go, right? Really release that energy from your energy. It's like good things, it's like it opens the floodgates, right? Opens the floodgates. And that's why your future spouse is wanting you to release this energy from yours, because it's like they're on the other side of it. They see what happens. It's like this unforgiveness is a dam, right? It's there are doors that are closed between you and this flood and rush of blessings that want to come into your life. What is surprise? What's the surprise gift, the unexpected? Okay. Interesting. We got battle and off the hook. So we got different pages, not seeing eye to eye. You guys may actually get the apology that you want from this person. If that's even, if it's possible for you to get that from them. What's this battle energy off the hook for surprise? What's the surprise here? You guys may actually get what you've been wanting from this past person all along. Acknowledgement, apologies. Once you let go of wanting and needing that, right? It's like it's going to come. Interesting. Okay. Let's see what we have for hope. What's the message for hope? So your future spouse is saying, once you forgive this person, once you release them, once you let go of the need of them to apologize, to provide you closure and stuff like that, it's like you end up getting what you want anyway. What's hope here for? So right now it's like you're feeling, there may be feelings of insecurity that you're feeling, pile one. You may have trust issues when it comes to, romantic relationships or just relationships in general. Some of you, I feel like you may be in a very dark place. Why is sheltered off here? it's like you're frozen in a point in time, and progress is frozen. I'm almost picking up hermit energy from the Winter and the Wise card together, though. I do feel like maybe you withdrawn your energy from maybe society as a whole. And it may be because you're trying to heal, right? You're trying, maybe you have been trying to let go, trying to forgive. Why is Winter here? Yeah, it's whatever you're feeling right now. Maybe you kind of feel like things are stuck. Nothing's moving. Things are frozen, right? No progress is being made, but things are. This is just a temporary cycle, right? What you're in right now is just temporary. And it may just be because you're needing to conserve and reserve your energy. Things are going to start moving again with cycles in autumn. I am feeling like you guys have been planting some really good seed at this time. Maybe this person didn't completely destroy your faith, in love and healthy relationships. They may have definitely shook it up a little bit. Maybe not a little bit, but you know what I'm saying? And I still kind of feel this sense of optimism from you guys where, even though right now you may be feeling like you're in a pretty dark place for some of you, that energy is coming through. It's not the over dominant energy, so not every single buddy tuning into pile one is going to be having like a dark night of the soul kind of thing, but there is this sense of there is this sense of optimism from you guys where even though you've gone through what you've gone through, you are holding on to hope that the real thing does exist. And the message coming from your future spouse, and here's another wheel that reminds me, even though it's balanced, things are going to get moving again. And they're really going to start popping off in a good way once, you're able to really fully forgive and let go and get this person and what they did to you out of your energy. Okay. What is respect here for? Your future spouse is wanting to reiterate. They're not saying that what this person did is okay. They're not saying that at all. But they're saying that, holding on to that, that anger, that forgiveness, that anger, unforgiveness, that resentment, that bitterness, whatever it is you're feeling towards that person, is having more of a detrimental effect on you than it is, the other person. And they can see, that it's acting like a barrier between you and just a rush and a flood of blessings that are wanting to come in. They're not just saying, you need to get over it. They're not coming from that place, that energy at all. It really is, they're thinking about you, your highest good. Why is respect here? Traditions and respect. Why are these here? This may be somebody that's paternal or a masculine energy that you're holding this unforgiveness towards. It could be, a father figure. It could be a father figure. Maybe it's the father of your kids. It's a masculine energy, though, whether or not, their gender is male or female or however they may identify themselves. Why is respect and traditions here? Interesting. We got traditions, super sweet with charming and kind gestures. And this may be you. Maybe you want something a little bit more traditional. And what I'm hearing your future spouse come through, then we got cloud 9 with the bliss of happiness and seems like a dream. You may be that person, pile 1, where, you know, when it comes to like celebrating holidays, or maybe you're wanting to create memories with your future spouse is really kind of like, get over this over here so we can get to creating our own family and making our own traditions and creating our own memories. Because I feel like your future spouse is wanting to come in and really, you know, like spoil you. And, you know, I'm seeing like Clark Griswold in Christmas Vacation, like, you know, how he just kind of goes overboard. He's that family guy, right? And that's kind of like how your future spouse is coming through, male or female. They're really someone who's like, they can't wait, you know, to celebrate holidays and family get-togethers and take you to family reunions and things like that. They're like, that's what they want, you know, and they're part of one of the many rush of blessings that are on the other side waiting, you know, for you to let this past person, whatever it is they did, to let that go. Your future spouse is like, you know, when you're with them, it's going to be like both of you are going to feel like you're on cloud 9. Blissful, happy. It's going to feel like a fairy tale, but not one where it's like, you know, it's too good to be true. It's nothing like that. We'll get one more for respect. Why is respect here? And your future spouse is saying, maybe that is part of, you know, your trust issues and your insecurities. Maybe you felt very highly disrespected from this past person. Your future spouse is like, no, you're going to be respected. You can hold on to hope that people out here are going to honor you, respect you. You know, you may have an image in your head of how people should be treated within, you know, different roles and relationships. And they're saying those people are out there. Those kinds of relationships can and do exist. Let's get one more for respect, though. Head to the tarot. Almost. Is there anything else that wants to come out for respect? Yeah. Unrequited love. Yeah, so whoever this past person is, this past person may have demanded respect, but they didn't. They may have been very much of a hypocrite. Whoever this past person is, they demanded a lot of what they were not willing to give. And this is also letting me know, if this is someone that you had a romantic relationship or whatever it is, this energy that you're still holding on to towards this past person, if it's love, if it's attachment, whatever it is, your future spouse is saying, you know, as you start to release this person and let their energy go, get them out of your system, right? You are going to lose that attachment, that toxic attachment towards them or towards the situation or towards the memories or whatever. You're not going to feel like this, you know, forever. That attachment's going to lose the spark. You know, those feelings, like you may be asking yourself if this is a past love, right? Will I ever feel that way again? You're going to, you know, whatever it is you're feeling towards that person probably is made up from a toxic attachment, right? We think about the spark. We lost the spark, the chemistry, all that stuff. And your future spouse is like, you know, their hold over you is going to weaken, is what I'm feeling they're wanting to say. Their hold over you, whoever this past person is going to weaken. It's not, that hold is not going to be as strong anymore. Okay. What messages do you have? The person that you may be harboring this unforgiveness towards may be a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. King of Cups. This could be like, you know, could be a father figure, like I said. It's definitely a masculine energy that may be a little bit older or just way older than you. And Knight of Cups energy. Wow, this person... and harboring this unforgiveness really for you too is kind of giving you a hard time in terms of really accessing yourself emotionally. It's blocking you from your own heart space. I am hearing, though, this person did not give you the love and the respect and the honor that you deserved. They didn't. And the reason why is because this person, they themselves were blocked off from their own heart space. They weren't able to give you what they themselves didn't have, which is why, like, if you were waiting for them to offer you something, right, in terms of whatever kind of a relationship it was, you know, they weren't able to give that to you. Even if they told you right out they didn't want to, you know, it's you have to remember, you know, even if you wanted to give somebody $1,000, if you don't have $1,000 to give, I mean, it's like, well, you know, you come, so think about it, like if somebody is starving, right, and this is how I feel like this person that you're harboring this unforgiveness towards, I'm picking up this feeling of like starving emotionally, right, and that may have been how you were feeling. This person was starving you. They weren't giving you what you needed, what you wanted, what you rightly deserved. And what you may not have realized, pile one, this person was starving as well. They were leaving your plate empty, but they also were working from an empty plate. They didn't have it to give. It's like, you know, both of you guys. So even if they did have it to give, they may have been in such a scarcity mindset where it's like, whatever I get, I'm going to hold on to it, right? Even if, you know, say if somebody's got a poverty mindset, when they do get money, they're more than likely are going to hold on to it, hoard it for themselves, because they're in the scarcity mindset. They don't know when or where or if they're ever going to get that surplus of, you know, money again. That's kind of where this is coming from. Like, you know, it's not that this person thought you weren't worthy. They didn't have it to give. Literally. We got the King of Cups in reverse and the Knight of Cups in reverse. The Knight of Cups, the Knights are usually indicative of an actual offer, right? According to whatever element they embody. The Cups is emotional energy, heart-based energy. The Knight of Cups in reverse here is literally saying, I didn't have it to give, which is why I didn't offer it to you. Knight of Cups King of Cups in reverse. You know, kings are typically masters of whatever elements they rule over. When they're in the upright position, the King of Cups here in the reverse position, this person completely closed off to their heart space. You were emotionally starving, right? You were love starved. They were too. They didn't have it to give. I know for a lot of you that may not make you feel any better, you know, but it's just, hopefully this is kind of easing that pain for you guys a little bit. Why is balance here? What more messages do you have for pile one? The Queen of Wands. Awesome. Oh my gosh, the Queen of Wands. Okay, well, let's get some more. Why is the Queen of Wands here? So the Queen of Wands, you guys, that energy is very magnetic, very attractive, very confident, very action oriented, and nothing gets in their way. And it's almost like if you will let this go, the Queen of Wands shines. Okay, shines. They shine in the spotlight. They have a surplus of confidence. They make friends very easily. and very popular. And of course we have the Queen of Wands, you know, with celebration right here. It's almost like, you know, the Queen of Wands, the Wand family really is like the, when I say the Wand family, I mean the King, the Queen, the Knight, and the Page, right? In the upright positions, they're like the life of the party. Those are the people that you want to have, because it's like when they arrive, that's when the party really gets started. And here we got celebration with the Queen of Wands. It's like, oh my gosh, if you will let this go, this energy over here, this very challenging, negatively influencing energy, your life is going to light the F up. It's going to light up. You are going to light up. You're going to light up from, you're going to light up from within. And it's like balance and hope are going to be restored from within you. When you really let this person go, write their debt off to you, and really be like, you know what, maybe, you know, this was all to kind of, maybe to teach me, maybe there was a lesson in this, maybe there was a message in this, you know, what possibly might that message be? What was this teaching you about yourself? Because I feel like you're this Queen of Wands energy, whether you're male or female, whether you're, you know, divine masculine, divine feminine. It's like really getting in touch with that energy within yourself. Why is the Queen of Wands here under balance? I really like that. You may be fire or have fire dominant, you know, in your chart. Fire is going to be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And if not, that's neither here nor there. That's just letting us know, you know, this energy, you have this in you. You have this confident, this shining in the spotlight, you know. People are going to be drawn to you. You're going to glow from the inside out. And yes, eventually you will get what you're wanting from this person in terms of, you know, they will. If they haven't, this is a message coming through. If this person has not apologized to you, it will come with, you know, battles and off the hook. Like, this person will come forward and they will say at some point in time, you know, albeit it'll be at a point in time when you're not needing it anymore. You don't need it for closure. You were able to give that to yourself. They will come through and tell you, you know, I should not have treated you that way. They will actually, they'll probably tell you a lot of what I've told you in this reading, that they wished they could have given you more love or more attention, or, you know, treated you the way that you deserve to be treated, but they themselves, they didn't have it to give. Why is the Queen of Wands here under balance? Okay, we got the King of Wands coming out, but in the reverse position. What? Why is the King of Wands here? Why is the King of Wands here? Okay, and then we have the King of Swords in reverse. Interesting. So the masculine energy here, the inner masculine energy, this may be about going inward. So we have the feminine energy here in the upright position, but then we have the masculine energy in the reverse position. So this may be talking about, you know, because when a lot of the time, some of us are hyper. We're too much in our masculine energy, whether we're divine feminine or divine masculine, right? Inner wise, because we all have measures of both. Some of us are more feminine energy than we are masculine, and vice versa. And so this may be talking about, you know, pile one, you may have been too much in your masculine, your inner masculine energy, and needing to really get in touch with your inner feminine, that divine inner feminine energy, which is all about letting go, surrender, releasing, allowing. It's not about taking action, right? It's not about trying to figure things out. feminine is inner feminine, divine feminine energy. It doesn't have to be, well, I mean, it's, you know, it's both divine, whether you're divine, you're primarily divine masculine or divine feminine. But with the, here it's like less action, okay? Less action and more allowing, releasing, confident, not needing to, you know, if you're kind of in a place you're not knowing which way to go, like what action do I need to take? Do I need to get on dating apps? Do I need to, you know, A, B, C, D, and E? It's like release, wanting to know what the next step is, and just really immerse yourself in your own inner divine feminine energy, whether you're, you know, whether you identify as divine feminine or divine masculine. This is for both, okay? Get into the present moment more. Allow your, you know, drop down into your body. Get out of your head with the King of Swords in reverse here. Get out of your head. Get out of the desire to want to figure things out, to want to see the end from the beginning, to want to be able to predict, you know, what, when, where, who, and why, all that good stuff. And really drop down into your body and get into the present moment more. Getting grounded, getting centered, and really start enjoying your life from this point where you're at right now, right? Your future spouse is saying, don't worry about trying to figure out what action you need to take next. Just kick back and enjoy the ride is what they're saying, especially with balance, celebration, and surprise. It's like, you know, tap into that inner desire to want to celebrate life more. And, you know, that's going to also help you to get balancing out your inner feminine, your inner masculine. But it's like they're letting you know it's okay to fully embody your inner feminine, especially if you are, you know, divine feminine. Let's see more about hope. What other messages do you have for pile 1? Yeah, there's this feeling with you, pile 1. Like I said, there's this underlying optimism coming through, but there is a part of you that is kind of doubting. You know, we have the Four of Wands in reverse here, and then right next to it we had, you know, like celebrations, which, you know, Four of Wands, and Four of Wands can also talk about reconciliation, stability, harmony. Maybe you're hoping for a reconciliation with this past person, or, you know, wanting them to give you closure. Why is the Four of Wands in reverse here? I just feel like this is reconciling something from childhood. Home life. The Page of Pentacles in reverse. Home life, something in school. You know, you could have been elementary, middle school, maybe possibly high school era. Something about school. Maybe you were bullied in school, picked on. There may be more than one person here to forgive, is what I'm picking up on. Possibly somebody that you grew up with that was in your home, and then also somebody that you went to school with. Let's get one more about this energy. Ooh, your future spouse is coming through, and they are, and this must be because, you know, you guys you're at a point. This information really wouldn't be coming through unless you guys were at that point in your soul evolution to do that, which is letting me know, pile 1, as a soul, you're pretty highly evolved. You're very self-aware and highly evolved. And all your future spouse, you know, a lot of this may be coming up. They're showing you what's in your subconscious, possibly, letting you know, there's some forgiveness here. And, there's maybe more than one person to forgive. Yeah. And the Eight of Swords in reverse is like, you already know who these people are. You know exactly who I'm talking about. And I love that hope. This is coming up under hope, right? I can see where the trust issues and the insecurities come from, especially if you were bullied. You may have been bullied in your home, right, growing up, and that may have caused a subconscious pattern to be born, which caused you to be bullied outside of the home. And so you may have trust issues with people in general because that's all you've ever known, right? Having a hard time really opening up yourself to people because it's just kind of an automatic response to want to close yourself off, because all you've ever experienced from a very early age was being picked on, being bullied. I completely understand why you would be very hesitant. And your future spouse is saying, there are good people out here. There are good people out here. There are other evolved souls out here. There are, people who want to lift you up rather than tear you down. And I feel that's how you are. I feel like you are a person who likes to encourage, likes to lift people up. We have that Queen of Wands energy over here. I feel you're someone that likes to elevate others. You like to lift other people's spirits, right? I feel like that's that core of who you are. You're somebody with a very big heart, but maybe you've had it closed off for a while because, the people that you grew up around, because they were suffering, they were in pain, they were starving emotionally, and they just kind of reacted in certain ways out of that, caused you to kind of build up a protective wall against yourself. And so it may have been very difficult for you to I'm hearing make friends. It may have been very difficult for you to make friends, not because you're not outgoing, not because, it's coming from a space of not trusting people. You may have been bullied by your friends. I mean, I really am picking up, you guys were bullied in the home, picked on by people in your home, parents, grandparents, siblings, all of the above maybe, step parents, their family. And then you were turned around and then you started to be bullied at school. And so it's caused you to have a really hard time really opening up yourself to other people. Let's see what's going on with respect. What other messages do you have for pile one? Oh, I got the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel this is an ongoing thing, and I'm hearing respect is earned. Yeah, respect is earned. Your future spouse is coming through saying, like, it is going to happen. Let that guard down, let the guard down, let the wall down, put up boundaries, and you're going to see people will start to earn your respect. You may not even be giving people the chance to earn your respect. You're kind of coming off from the space of, just, you may be coming from this belief, or whether it's subconscious or conscious. It's almost like you're expecting people to let you down. You're expecting for others to disrespect you. You're expecting others to, disappoint you and stuff like that. Your future spouse is like saying, give it time. You will come to see people will earn your respect. You got some patient people out here, pile one. There are people out here who are patient, full of love, right? Full of honor, full of respect. And there are people out here who are other evolved souls who can see beyond the pain and the hurt. They can feel a person's true essence, their true energy. And there are people out here who are patient and they know, kind of like, and I'm not saying, not saying you're an animal, I'm kind of giving you an example, and pet lovers will understand this. You know, if you ever picked up or been around an abused animal, an abused dog or a cat, you know, and they had been abused, it takes those animals a while to feel safe, right? And, you know, and people know that. And so they're very patient, you know, and they keep coming around. They keep showing, you know, the dog or the cat or the pet love, more compassion, softness, and warmth. And eventually, you know, the pet realizes I'm safe. I'm safe here, right? These people are safe. And, you know, there are people out there that are like that towards other people. You know, there are highly intuitive, empathic people, you know, who are going to recognize that, you know, you may be holding yourself back because you're not really trusting yet. It's like you need to vet them first, right? And they're not going to take offense to that. And they're going to see the value. They're going to see the value in you to want to stick around. And this is what your future spouse is saying too. You know, if you meet your future spouse at a point in time where you're still kind of keeping your heart on guard against other people, your future spouse is also that kind of person that is going to be like, they're going to stick it out, right? They're going to stick it out, and they realize they need to earn, you know, your sense of safety. They need to earn your sense of comfort, and they're going to recognize that is because, you know, you were treated not so safely in the past, right? All right, let's see. We're going to end with some messages. Actually, let's see. Is there anything Pile 1 can do to speed up this healing or align more to the timeline where they're meeting? What can Pile 1 do? Okay, we got 2. Okay, you see, yeah, we got reparenting here. Okay, so it says you may not feel like doing it, but you do it anyway because that's what loving parents do. So reparenting is different than self-care, okay? Reparenting is, you know, peeling yourself out of bed to brush your teeth because, you know, you think about if you have kids or if you have parents, you know, whatever, whether you're a pet parent or a human parent, right? Parents of humans. You know that regardless of how little energy you may have or how you're feeling, you have to get up and you have to feed. You got to clothe, right? You got to take care of the kids. You got to take care of the pets no matter how you're feeling. And it's like, do that for yourself as well. You know, brush your teeth, drink your water, eat your veggies, take a shower, go outside, exercise, play with your friends, clean your room, etc. It's like, and this is also saying, you know, this may be a lot of the times we don't know how to parent ourselves because we weren't parented in the right way growing up. And so it's almost like we have to learn how to parent ourselves. Okay, so then we also have rejection. Yes, this is part of what may need to be released, right? You may be feeling or have felt rejected by this past person, and that's something that is now kind of like programmed in your subconscious. So here we got not chosen, passed over, feeling unwanted. And so on my other channel, Your Wish Fulfilled, we talk about releasing the wants, right? Because wanting to feel chosen and wanting to feel important, wanting to feel special is coming from a space of not feeling those things, right? If you're wanting to feel chosen, it's because you don't feel chosen. If you're wanting to feel special, it's because you're not already feeling special. Now keep in mind, you guys, this can be subconscious. Consciously, you may be like, I love myself, I'm very confident, but then you know what's going on in your subconscious if things are manifesting in the 3D where people are rejecting you, treating you in a way where you're not feeling special, you know what's going on subconsciously based off of what's developing in the 3D, right? So part of the releasing process, which is on my other channel, there's a video called Releasing the Wants on my other channel, teaches you how to get over the fear of rejection or get over feeling rejected. Okay, so these are things that you can start doing right now that are going to align you with the timeline where you and your future spouse, you know, are together, you're happy, you know, you meet them if you haven't met them yet. All right, y'all. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close out the reading there. I hope that it resonated. If it did, you guys, be sure you're smashing that like button. Comment below. Let me know what pile you picked. Let me know what you thought, how it resonated. Share and subscribe if you feel led to do so. I'll see you guys at your next reading. Thanks, pile one. Hey pile two, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Michelle. I'm going to be your reader today, and we are doing another future spouse pick a card reading, and we are tapping into your and your future spouse's connection and getting some messages from them, whatever those messages may be. Messages of love, messages of encouragement, insight, guidance, whatever it is your future spouse wants to come through and talk to you about. Okay, so you guys chose the Charoite skull, which Charoite is a stone of transformation. It normally has to do with the crown and the third eye chakra. Sometimes it can help to, if there's like a divide between the heart chakra and the crown and the third eye chakra, there might be something there as well. If like your heart and your mind are kind of separate, or, you know, if there's a block there. Yeah, so there may be some significance with the healing properties here that have to do with the Charoite skull. And skulls usually talk about like ancestries, right? It could also be talking about, you know, other people who may have, you know, in your life who may have passed away. So we'll see how the reading goes, if that's, you know, significant to the reading or not. So let's talk about, let's see, we've got compassion and strength. I'm feeling like immediately the message I got, compassion and strength for yourself. Are you being really hard on yourself about something, pile two? The Charoite skull also, or just Charoite in general, can talk about physical healing. Physical healing or physical transformation. Do you have body image issues, pile two? All right, we're just going to get into the reading and see what it is your future spouse wants to talk to you about. All right, pile two's future spouse. What do you want to talk to pile two about? What messages do you have for pile two? Are you feeling cut off from help? Cut off from spirit, cut off from source, just disconnected, cut off in general? Self-love, Okay. We want to talk about self-love. What else? What other messages? Show me what you want to talk to pile two about. Oh, no, that's too much. Freedom. Guarded. Yeah. Immediately when freedom came out, I heard free yourself from the opinions of others. I feel body image issues keeps coming up. Body image issues. Maybe some of you that is affecting your self-confidence, your sense of worthiness. Let's get one more. What messages do you have for pile 2? Gifts. Okay. So right off the bat, pile 2, and these messages are coming through very strong. Your future spouse wants to talk about this cage that you're keeping yourself in. Which this cage, the cage itself is like the opinions of others, what you think others want, possibly like people pleasing, other people's expectations, what you think other people's expectations are, releasing yourself from the desire to want to conform, I'm hearing, to modern beauty standards. Not to say that there's anything wrong with, you know, doing your hair, doing your makeup, hair and nails, dressing a certain way. Those things are okay if those are coming from a space of that's what makes you happy, right? It's not here on the board, but I'm here. Courage, having the courage to be yourself, having the courage to love yourself right where you're at. And body image issues is more than just, you know, am I too overweight? Am I too skinny? Am I, you know, not fit enough? Am I, you know, it can also be about, you know, what you perceive your level of physical attractiveness to be. And your desire to want to conform, it's like to beauty standards. You know, if you're wanting to lose weight or you're wanting to get fit, it's coming from a space of feeling like you have to in order to compete with others, rather than realizing that the core of who you are, that's what makes you attractive. Your energy, your personality, your confidence, your humor. That's what makes you attractive. Feeling very closed off to others as well. So there's kind of some of you are almost like guarding your gifts. Interesting. I feel like you're hiding behind something. Your gifts may have gotten you in trouble in the past. I'm being drawn to this light. Of course, the strength reminds me, this strength card reminds me of, you know, Leo energy, sun energy. I feel like pile 2, you have this inner, I'm hearing divine, you have this inner divine light that may have gotten you in trouble in terms of making other people jealous, may have caused you, you know, make like this gift or this inner gift, this divine light within you triggered a lot of people, which caused them to mistreat you, pick on you. Like made them jealous of you and jealous of that light. And so they would respond and react to you in ways like they wanted to knock you down a few pegs, right? You may have been bullied in the past, which caused you to shrink your energy back. And the first steps to reclaiming this inner light and reclaiming this confidence is to love every aspect of yourself. You know, if this has to do with, you know, maybe being excessively overweight, or just you feel you're overweight, right? Loving what you perceive to be your flaws, learning how to love that part of yourself, loving your body, loving your face. If you have skin problems, you know, a lot of the times these issues arise from holding on to hurt and pain. And a lot of the times, whether we realize, and this largely happens, you guys, and you're not even realizing it. What I'm hearing here with guarded, oh my gosh, this is, and I've, you know, this is definitely a channeled message because I've never even seen it this way. For some of you, if you have like skin problems, right, or you have excess weight, or there's something going on with your body image and or your what you feel your level of attractiveness is, if you have skin problems, a lot of the times we're realizing, especially if you know, we've been subconsciously conditioned to hide ourselves, to hide our gifts, right? We manifest things like extra weight, or we manifest things like skin problems as a way to kind of as like a concealing mechanism. And diving into self-love, which includes, you know, now, you know, loving the overweight part of yourself, or the part of yourself that's too thin or not fit enough, not defined enough, not, you know, physically attractive enough, or whatever that skin problem might be. Loving that, what you perceive to be a flaw, and recognizing it as it was something you manifested out of protection. Simply because it's like, it caused you, like, say if you're too overweight, so you may be dressing in a way that is not flattering, you know, to your, it may cause you to wear like clothing that's way too baggy, it's not form-fitting or anything like that. It's almost like you're trying to hide yourself, you're hiding your gifts, you're hiding your light from the world because you don't want to piss people off, you don't want to trigger them, you don't want to be bullied by them, criticized by them, picked apart by them. Not realizing that, you know, your outer world is a reflection of what's going on in your inner world. And the minute you start showing love to yourself and to every part of yourself, especially the parts of you that you wish you could change, the parts of yourself that you perceive to be flaws, you will start seeing the world reflect back to you that level of self-love. You'll start, for instance, the more, you know, say if you, if you're overweight, or if you have skin problems, you know, and you're making that mean that makes you unlovable, right? That causes you to hide, to conceal yourself. Once you start to love, you know, that extra weight, you know, your extra curves, or you start to see those things in a different way, you'll start to see that there are people out there that actually love those things too. You'll start to see evidence of people who, you know, are in love and treat someone else with those same skin problems or that same extra weight as kings and queens, or as royalty. You'll start to see whatever you perceive your flaws to be, they're not limitations at all. I know that may be how you're experiencing them. And then you'll also realize, like, the minute you let go of what you believe, like, whatever meaning you're attaching to whatever you perceive your flaw to be, once you let go, once you stop making it mean that you're flawed, that, you know, that makes me unlovable, that makes me not as good as someone else who, you know, doesn't have the skin problem, or doesn't have this weight problem, or doesn't have, you know, the perfect body or whatever. You'll start to, you know, you'll start to see changes in those areas, especially if it's like a skin problem. You know, it's happened before that, you know, the energy of self-loathing, once that self-loathing was released, the skin problems or the weight problems, you know, the body image, it, you know, skin problems, weight problems started to clear up. Interesting. Oh, we got self-love again. This is it, you guys. This is what your future spouse wants to talk to you about. They're like, you love yourself. They're not saying that, you know, that's needed for them to manifest in. They're just saying this is what you need to focus on. Loving yourself, having compassion towards yourself, and what you can build that on, right, is how strong you are. I'm hearing you've been through some stuff. You've been through some stuff. You know, if you're dealing with body image issues and self-esteem issues and self-confidence issues, that usually means that you grew up in an environment where people were constantly, you know, constantly knocking you down, cutting you to size, right? Yeah. And that's gonna be a new door to experience love. Actually, what that is showing me is that it all starts with the level at which you love yourself. And I'm hearing, you know, what makes you so lovable, pile 2? What about you is so damn special? And I'm not saying that in a derogatory way. It's like your future spouse wants you to sit down and take you know, take a, what do they call that? An inventory of everything about you that is lovable. And compassion and strength may be, you know, you may be very compassionate and very strong. It's like you can start there and honor how strong and compassionate you are. I'm actually going to put this down here. And I'm also hearing that your journey to self-love is going to start opening up new doors through which to experience love, and not just romantic. It may very well help to open up the door between you, you know, and your future spouse, like that connection manifesting. But it's like you're going to start like new doors to experience love, to where people are like genuinely loving you. You know, I'm hearing you're awesome. and experiencing that love from other people. Letting that love in, I'm hearing. Letting that love in. There may be a program. You may be having a subconscious program, a subconscious belief that, you know, you are not lovable. So even when people are trying to love on you, it's very difficult for you to receive that, because there's a subconscious program there that says, no, you're not supposed to love me. I'm unlovable. I cannot receive this love and this compassion. It's not for me, right? Letting love in. Self-love, and then also letting love in. It's like a lot of us, we don't realize it, but it's like we have a really difficult time with receiving love, receiving compassion, because at a very deep level, okay, a very deep level, we don't feel we're worthy of it. So it's like, you know, we may be love starved, attention starved, And yet when someone does try to feed us, right, they try to love us, it's like we refuse it. Like, no. And this may be happening at a very subconscious level. I'm hearing you may have a hard time really truly accepting compliments. Love your shadows is what I'm hearing too. See, love shadows. Love your shadows, love your flaws. Come to peace with them. You know, first, it's like make peace with where you're at in your journey, and then go above and beyond that and actually love on it. Find the beauty in it. Whew, man, these are some... Pile 1 had some deep, deep messages too. But these are awesome though. It's like your future spouse is coming through. Talk about encouragement. I love it. Why is freedom here? I love it. It says love your shadows. Because, you know, when we talk about self-love, we're talking about loving everything about you. Everything. Not just what you think the good parts are, right? We got clouded, misunderstandings, judgmental, and confusion. And then we also have, yeah, I feel those who you consider to be really close friends and family, lovers and stuff like that, you were always misunderstood. People always confused your energy. And with freedom here, and I'm picking up on, you know, being freed from other people's opinions, their expectations of you and stuff. It's like, I'm feeling the prison it is mental and emotional. It definitely is. Letting go of wanting your closest friends, your lovers, your family. Letting go of wanting to, what's that word? Measure up to their standards. And start asking yourself, are these closest friends, is my lover my closest friends, or my parents, or my family, my siblings, are they meeting my standards? Are they reaching my standards? You know, and if you don't have any standards, you know, that's a good place to start. It's like your need for validation, for acceptance, your want to belong, right, is clouding your ability to see that the very people that you are wanting to like accept you for who you are, whom you're wanting to measure up to their standards, it's like they're not even measuring up to yours. And freedom can be attained by, you know, letting go and releasing the need and the want for validation and realizing you don't need it. You don't need their validation at all, right? You know, these friends, these lovers, these family members, these people in your inner circle could be very judgmental and very critical. And a lot of the times when people are judgmental and very critical, that's because that's how they're being with themselves. People are simply reacting from a space of, you know, they treat others as they treat themselves, right? So if people are over here judging you, mistreating you, purposefully seeming like they're trying to not understand you, that's just a reflection of how they are feeling and how they're treating themselves. If someone is constantly railing on what you look like, you know, your image, your public image, that's because they themselves are not comfortable with themselves. And they're lashing out. They're projecting that out onto you, which is causing you to not see yourself very clearly. Clouded lovers. Yeah, so really this is kind of rooted in this dynamic is really playing out within the realm of your romantic connections. It's like you feel you have to look a certain way, dress a certain way, do your makeup and hair a certain way. You have to appear a certain way in order to be worthy of love. Look at that. And then under guarded, we have pearls. You know, especially with gift, it's like you're not realizing we got 1 in a million special love. You're not fully understanding just how special you are, and it has nothing to do with your physical body. Now, yes, as you start to heal this connection with your body, your image of your body and your physical attractiveness, your physical body and your physical appearance and your physical attractiveness will actually start to change. You know, pearls, though, it's like you're guarding your pearls. You're guarding your gift. You're guarding... I feel like it got you in trouble when you were incoming abundance. Wow. I'm going to get one more. Why are we guarding this? Actually, I'm going to clarify that with the tarot real quick. Why are we guarding our pearls? Some of you had, I mean, I'm picking up on some childhood trauma or some traumatic experiences. Maybe not originating from childhood. Even some of this could be past life stuff too. Oh, wow. Okay, we got, look at this, you guys. We got the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. This is what's being blocked. This is a very powerful pair here, the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. I'm hearing like a financial windfall is wanting to come through, but guarding yourself. This gift and this pearls, they're connected. There's some kind of a gift that you have that you could be using to make a crap ton of money. I gotta be careful what I say because YouTube is really dinging people for things. And the Queen of Wands is at the forefront here, having to do with self-confidence, being in the spotlight. Maybe some of you are supposed to be having, or you know, or do have some kind of a social media platform, and that may be partially why, or maybe, or you know that, and maybe you're putting it off because of these body image issues, or you know, this you know, your issues with your level of attractiveness. And part of freeing yourself and loving yourself is realizing that you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to look perfect. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be where every hair is perfectly in place or everything is perfectly manicured, or, you know, your skin is looking flawless or whatever. You know, people, part of self-love is believing that people are going to value your energy, your content, whatever it is you're giving out so much that they're not going to care. You could show up in, I'm hearing you could show up, you know, in a messy, you know, messy hair and in your pajamas. And the gift that you have to share is so powerful, so transformative, and so unique that people are not going to care. They're not going to care what you look like. In fact, your essence, your gift is so powerful, it's going to shine through you. They're still going to find you beautiful physically, right? Wow. But there's a part of you, though, that's actually guarding this gift, that's withholding it from the world. Because I feel like people were very jealous of it, especially with this Queen of Pentacle energy here and this Queen of Wands energy. Ooh, man, people were jealous of that inner light and that power. Definitely jealous of that light and that power. And so, like I said, I feel like, you know, people felt the need to knock you down a few pegs, not realizing, you know, what your light was for. Your light is here to heal, you know, but first, you know, now you need to use that light within you to heal yourself first, and then, you know, it'll shine out in the world and just naturally heal others. This gift in its full operation, you won't even really have to try. It just, you know, your presence, just people being in your physical presence, being in close physical proximity to you is very healing for people, you know, and it can trigger people's shadows. That's what it's meant to do. Sometimes that's how it heals people. It triggers their shadows. And a lot of people are still unconscious and so not self-aware. They're not realizing that's what that is. You see, it's like what you're not understanding, pile 2, is that they're knocking you down a few pegs because they're seeing you as competition. Now, they may not see that or pick up on that consciously, especially if they're people with narcissistic tendencies. I'm not saying they're narcissists, but people with narcissistic tendencies are very unconscious, not very self-aware at all. And so, you know, you're here, you're triggering the crap out of people with this inner light, with this gift. They're not realizing it, though. All they know, look at that spotlight. You're meant for the spotlight. Your gift makes you stand out. And for people who have issues with competitiveness, people who have to be number one, people who, you know, have to be, they're not realizing there's more than one pedestal. They have their pedestal, you got your pedestal, but they don't like, you know, they think, you know, they have to knock you off your pedestal in order for them to shine bright, right? And they're not realizing that. Or they feel like they have to fight you for the spotlight. I'm hearing your energy is very splashy. Glamorous even. And you're hiding that, though. You're hiding it. Why is gifts here? Your gift, pile 2, has the potential to make you rich, okay? I'm just going to say it. I'm going to say it. We have all eyes on you, pride, ego, and recognition. Yeah. And sometimes that recognition of your gift wasn't always positive. But when people would react to you in ways where they felt like they needed to knock you down a few pegs, that was them recognizing your gift. Albeit it may have been subconsciously unrequited love. Yeah, this is why people would try to knock you down a few pegs, because it's like, if you're in the spotlight, pile 2, then you're the one, you know, who's going to get all the love and I'm not going to get it. Your light made people feel very self-conscious about themselves. Why is gifts here? Your energy made people realize, like, your inner glow, your inner spark made people recognize that their own inner spark had been lost. And because they were still so unconscious, they didn't realize, like, you were there to help light that inner spark back up. So instead of, you know, allowing your inner light to reignite their inner light, they tried to extinguish yours. Let's get one more for gifts. We have earth energy and fire energy being called out here. So earth energy is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Fire energy is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So those may be dominant elements in your chart. And if not, this is just the energy that's showing up. This is what is coming for you. Mastering financial abundance in your life, and self-mastery, self-confidence, knowing your worth. rocking that spotlight like none other. Okay, let's get one more for gifts. Time to confront issues and make a move. Some of you know exactly what you're... I feel like you guys have a platform, or you know you should be on a platform, the forefront of something. Your future spouse is coming through and they're like, it's time to make a move. Whatever it is you've been holding off of, you need to pull the trigger on that. Pull the plug on, you know, wanting validation from others, wanting acceptance from others, or approval from others, and pull the trigger on doing the dang thing. Realize that you don't need validation from anybody but yourself. You are really, truly the only one who can validate you. Just you. You're it, right? Nobody else is qualified to judge you. Nobody. No one is qualified to judge you but yourself. And even then, are we really qualified to judge ourselves, especially when we're operating from subconscious programming, right? You know, and so instead of self-judgment, focus more on self-love and loving yourself completely, even your shadows. Okay, let's move on to tarot. What more? Give me more messages for pile 2, please. I just caught a glimpse of the 5 of Swords and the Ace of Swords. 5 of Swords is very like cutthroat energy. Cutthroat conflict, cutthroat competition. And what I'm hearing for you, and this has to do with self-love, it's like you are actually your own worst critic. It's like no one is beating you up more than what you're beating yourself up, right? And you need to become your own best cheerleader. You know, this is talking about loving even your flaws. Like cheer your flaws. You know, I know it can be hard at first. So we start at acceptance, right? We make peace with what we believe is so wrong with us. And then we move into a space like, can I actually love this about myself? Not saying that, you know, loving that part about yourself, that's not going to make you stay where you're at. But that's part of surrendering and accepting and allowing, which is, you know, going to be the base to change. As you start to love yourself fully, you start to show up for yourself differently in ways that are more self-supporting, changing from the inside out. I hope that's making sense. What other messages do you have for pile? And with that Ace of Swords and the 5 of Swords, I feel like you already know that. I feel like you're already very clear that no one beats you. It's like you beat yourself up before anybody else can, right? But like the Ace of Swords and the 5 of Swords, it's like you're very clear that nobody is more harder on yourself than you are. Why is the 8 of Wands here? Movement is going to start happening very quickly in a positive movement. If you've been feeling stuck or things have been feeling stagnant, pile 2, it's like the minute you really start to embody this energy of self-love and really forgiving yourself for your imperfections, accepting yourself, being at peace with yourself, all the parts of yourself. I'm hearing all the working parts of yourself. And moving into that space of actually loving those parts of yourself, things are going to start moving very quickly, very quickly. Why is the 8 of Wands here? The minute you confront your fears, there's something in your shadow pile 2. I think you're aware of it, that you've been resistant to really face, to integrate, to feel, to confront. And now that Ace of Swords and that Five of Swords is like, be fearless about it. Like cutthroat, when you think about cutthroat, I mean, people who are cutthroat, they're usually pretty fast about it, right? Almost damn near fearless. Like people who are cutthroat don't give 2 craps about hurting anybody else. They go after what they want, right? And what I'm seeing now is, and it's funny because you got the Ace of Swords, which is 1 sword, and then you have the 5, and together that makes 6. And the 6 of Swords is transition, peaceful transition. It's almost like I'm seeing you kind of rushing into your deepest, darkest shadows. Now I'm seeing the light turn on. I'm seeing a light turn on. And when that light turns on, you realize there's nothing there. When the light was off, it was like, you know, the light was off and it was almost, you know how when you turn the light off and, you know, the coat hanging on your door all of a sudden looks like it's a, like a shadow being or something like that. The minute you turn the light on, you realize, oh, there really wasn't anything there. I mean, there is, but it's not what I thought it was, right? It's not as scary as what I thought it was going to be. Oh, that's just, you know, that's just a coat, right? And that's kind of like what it is. And the minute you confront your shadows and really start integrating those and making peace and even loving those, things are going to start moving very quickly in your favor. Okay, more messages for pile 2. Yeah, your future spouse is wanting you to release the burden of other people's expectations, other people's opinions of you, the burden of wanting approval from others. You don't need approval from anybody but yourself. What other messages do you have for pile 2, please? Yeah, the people you're wanting approval from or validation from, they're not even clear about their own selves. They're not even really that clear on their own worth or what they have to bring to the table. You may also have this fear of pissing people off, which I understand because that's what you've dealt with in the past. Whenever you know you allowed your gifts to shine. Come to peace with you know what? Come to peace with pissing people off, making people mad. Come to peace with that. Welcome that. Can you welcome the possibility you're going to make someone mad? And just put it in a different place. See it from a different perspective. If your gift is making someone mad, that's coming from a place of them, feeling unworthy and unsure of themselves. You're shining a light on their own insecurities. Messages for pile 2, please. And pile 2's future spouse. Yeah, your gift with the 9 of Wands here. Whew, man. Your gift has caused you to experience pain in the past. Definitely. But look, we got the Four of Wands. If you will come to peace with everything we've been talking about during this reading, pile 2, your gift is actually your ability to allow yourself to shine regardless of what other people might think, what they might say. Be like, allow yourself to be you unapologetically. Be like, yeah, I'm showing up in my pajamas and you know, or yeah, I just rolled out of bed, you know, I got messy hair, I got bed hair, what of it, you know, or, you know, yeah, my light is shining through unapologetically. I am who I am unapologetically. You are going to be celebrated. You, in the past, your past experience up to this point, pile 2, was you were criticized, you were judged, your gift was highly misunderstood, and that caused people to criticize you, cut you down to size, try to knock you down a few pegs. And what you're not realizing, you know, processing the emotions and those experiences and letting go of fear of experiencing that, letting go of the fear of not being accepted, not being loved, not being included, not being valued, being rejected, is going to allow your gift and your light to shine so bright. You're going to be attracting the people that gift was meant to heal in droves. But with the Four of Wands in the upright position, people are going to celebrate you and your gift, which is going to be bringing you all this incoming abundance. I'm hearing like a moth to a flame. You know, yeah, when the light is shining, you know, you're going to attract droves of good. And, you know, but you're also may be attracting, you know, very unconscious, self-limiting people. And they're going to be reacting out of that space and learning that's just part of the experience. And learning not to put so much influence and importance on the negative comments, the negative, you know, energies that may show up, and focus on the energies that are showing up, the people that are showing up who are, you know, wanting to compliment you, wanting to thank you, wanting to celebrate you and your gift, and who are wanting to come into partnership with you to help you, you know, spread your gift out, your light out even more. We're going to get one more. I'm feeling guided to get one more. One more message, please. Is there any more messages from the tarot that want to come out? Future spouse. No. Okay. All right. So I'm going to pull a couple of cards from my own deck. Seeing what you may be able to do now that can bring you... things you can do right now that's going to bring you into alignment, into your desired timeline, whatever that timeline may be, whether that timeline is just, you know, union with your future spouse, and or, you know, this timeline where you are shining unapologetically, right? Could be both. What can pile 2 do now to align with their desired timeline, their desired reality? Anything else from this deck? We'll do one more shuffle. Anything else from this deck? Ooh, okay. Anything else? No, okay. We have switched on an incantation. Flip that light on. Oh my gosh. It says change your emotional state through physical movement. And since I have been talking about, you know, like body image issues, this may be, you know, your future spouse's way of saying that, you know, maybe because everyone is different. It could be for you, pile 2, that one of the fastest ways for you to get grounded, to get present in the moment, and to connect to your own power and your own light is through physical movement. I'm hearing dancing, swimming, running, just, you know, maybe an exercise routine, HIIT training. But do it for the right reasons. Do it because it connects you to your body automatically. And it's your way of showing your body some love, right? It says change your posture, your breathing, or facial expressions. Have a dance party. It says use with incantations to anchor in high energy state into your nervous system. And here we have incantation. So like while you're exercising, if you're running, maybe you can use an incantation, you know, an affirmation or something where it's like, you know, I'm a bad bee. You know, I'm a bad, you know what, boy or girl, I'm that bee, right? Something where you're saying something nourishing about yourself, loving about yourself. I love that we have, it says here, use with incantations, and the actual incantation card came out. I love how synchronistic that is. With incantation here, we have a thought or saying with conviction on a constant loop. A current incantation is creating a difficult experience for you. Switch it up. There's switch. Again, dang. So switch it up and put the new one on repeat during physical movement. This anchors it into your nervous system, making it quote unquote true. Okay, so your future spouse is coming through. They're saying right now you have a current incantation. It may be playing subconsciously. Could be I'm not good enough. And that's what's on a constant loop. I'm not lovable. I'm damaged goods. There's a current incantation. It could be, you know, a few of them that is creating difficult experiences for you. And so what's the guidance here to help you align to your desired reality and your desired timeline quicker, like you can start doing this right now to start manifesting that in faster, is to, you know, during physical movement, dance, exercise, some kind of physical movement, even if it is just walking, right? Combine physical movement and the use of incantations. You know, an incantation, as it says, it's a thought or a saying with conviction on a constant loop. And that's going to help anchor that new incantation into your subconscious, where it's going to start manifesting experiences in the 3D that align to it. So if you are saying, you know, I'm beautiful, I'm good enough, I am so lovable, right? And that gets wired into your subconscious. That now becomes part of your subconscious programming. You're going to be manifesting effortlessly experiences and relationships and things in the 3D that align to that aligns to that energy of, you know, I'm lovable, I'm so lovable, I'm so worthy, right? Okay, you guys, we're going to end the reading there. I hope that it resonated. If it did, be sure you're smashing that like button for me. It's a wonderful way to energetically donate to the channel. Also, be sure to comment below. Let me know what pile you picked. Let me know how it resonated. Share and subscribe if you feel led to do so. I'll see you guys at your next reading. Thanks, pile 2. Pile 3, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Michelle. I'm your reader today. We are doing another future spouse pick a card reading, opening up that channel between you and your future spouse. This time, we are allowing any messages they may have to come through. Could be messages of love, messages of insight, messages of encouragement. The last two messages of the last two piles were, whew, man, very healing. We'll just put it that way. Okay. So you guys keep in mind, this is a general reading. So take what resonates, leave behind anything that doesn't. If you would like me to tap into your specific future spouse, those readings are linked in the description box below. I'm having a hard time talking. Interesting. We're going to get right into it. You guys chose the rainbow fluorite, which is very emotionally healing. Helps to kind of sort through and filter out negative, or I should say more challenging feeling states and emotional states. So that may have something to do with the reading. We shall see. Okay, the overall energy of the message that's coming through from your future spouse is happiness. Oh, and coupled with the rainbow fluorite, I almost feeling like cutting through the BS, cutting through or releasing anything that is blocking this sense of happiness and joy from your life. Look at that. I love how there's a little kid on here with got the little butterfly. I love how she's looking up at this white light, surrounded by golden light, and then looking up. The white light usually talks about divine, well, protection. Something very protective, protective. I'm hearing your future spouse is saying to protect your light, protect your peace. Protect your peace. That's going to help to hang on to that desired emotional state of happiness. Okay, we're going to get right into your reading and see what more they may have to say. What other messages? What messages do you have for pile 2, please? Or pile 3, my bad. Pile 3. Hope. I'm hearing hang on to hope. Hang on to hope. What other messages do you have for pile 3? Forgiveness. Can you give me 2 more cards from this deck, please? Gifts. You guys forgive me if you hear my my grown-ass son in the background. He's home today from work. He's playing video games in the next room, and the walls here are paper thin. We got friendship. There is a message coming through about letting others in. Pile 3. All right, we're going to get right into the reading. We got hope, we got forgiveness, gifts. You guys may have been drawn to one of the other 2 piles, if not all 3. Okay, just saying, this could be a progression of the other, a progression of one of the other piles. So if you were drawn to either pile 1 and or pile 2, go ahead and check those out, because there is many of these messages came out in the other 2 piles. Okay, let's see. Okay, we got hope. Holding on to hope is what I heard. And under that, we have strings with mental, mind games, and manipulation. And then slow progress and reevaluate. Did I just say something about letting people in? Huh. Let me get these other cards out, and then why is forgiveness here? I'm actually being guided to start off with the tarot with you guys, and then I will do this deck later, which and both of the other, and I just cut the deck, and we got the Sun in reverse and then the Ten of Swords in reverse. You guys have had a hard, difficult time in relationships, I feel, in general. We do have friendship here, and there is this overwhelming message, this sense of letting people in, fear of letting people in. You may have dealt with a lot of people who played a lot of mental mind games with you, or, you know, made you feel very manipulated. Why is hope here? There's the Ten of Wands in the upright position. Let's get one more. There's a sense of feeling burdened, overburdened by your responsibilities. We got the Ten of Wands, we have the Queen of Wands, and then we have the Ten of Pentacles. Feel something is wrapping up. Maybe very slowly, slowly than what you would like. I feel you're working on something. I'm hearing working on restoring hope, or working on trying to remove whatever's been blocking you from feeling happy. I feel like this is all you really want, pile 3. You just want to feel happy. Maybe you're working towards achieving this Ten of Pentacles, or this is what you're hoping for. You're hoping for Ten of Pentacles energy in your life. You know, which is fulfillment, building a legacy, building, what do they call that? An inheritance. Not a lot of cup energy coming out here though. Like you're really focusing on your finances. Working overtime, I'm hearing. Why is the Queen of Wands here? Trying to keep a... okay. You're trying to keep... what do they call that? You know, like outwardly, you're trying to keep the appearance of everything is fine. Everything is fine. I'm happy. Keeping a smile on your face. And underneath the surface, there's a lot of heartache here. A lot of heartache and a lot of what feels like missed opportunities. With the Four of Cups in reverse, this may have to do with like a lover. Somebody that was very impulsive. Somebody whose energy switched up really fast. Somebody that was very non-committal. Somebody you were very attracted to. And if this wasn't someone who was like you were romantically involved with, this is just kind of the energy that you experience in relationships. People just seem to switch up on you. I did see the Ten of Swords in the reverse earlier. But I'm not picking up on... I'm just feeling like people's energy switches up on you quite a bit. Like they will... what's that called? They will invest in you. Their time, their energy, their passion. They will give to you, you know, do life with you. And then they're gone as fast as they arrived, if that makes sense. I feel this is kind of, and here we do have mental mind games and manipulation. This may have been how you are perceiving it. Like, well, you know, how could they have said those things or meant what they said and then just be gone like that, right? It's not that they didn't mean what they said. It's just there's a lot of mutable energy out there, you guys. Mutable energy is it changed like the wind, right? Mutable energy that may resonate with you is, let's see, Gemini, Sagittarius, Pisces, and Virgo. Okay, it's not that they didn't mean what they said, and they could very well still mean what they said. It's like they have the attention span of a gnat. They're just kind of all over the place, right? And yeah, so it's like you're trying to save face, you know, but underneath the smile, you're feeling very burdened and maybe even heartbroken, and you're trying to focus that energy on securing a blessed and abundant future for yourself. And holding out hope in that, you know, there is kind of this energy here where, and I don't normally pick this up with the Ten of Pentacles, but here for some reason it's really being highlighted. There's no cups here. Especially in this card, I'm looking, there's no cups here. So you're fairly confident, especially with the Queen of Wands. You're like, you're working hard. And you're fairly confident here that you're going to reach this, right? I almost feel like you have your finances, you know, you know that, like your finances are in the bag. If they're not, you have confidence that it's going to be. What you're not sure about, though, is that there's going to be any love in that future. And there's a very deep-rooted sadness there, because I feel like you're ready. Like, you know, the Four of Cups in the upright position talks about not, almost like a boredom, apathy, not being willing to accept what is being offered. But this in the you know, it's like you're ready now. You may have been in that energy in the past, and it may have been a self-protective thing, right? But you're ready for it now. You're ready for this opportunity. You're like, where is my cup? Right? Where's my cup? And so there's this kind of this sadness underneath the surface of that bright, beautiful smile that you have, pile 3. Because you're not sure. You're not sure. You know, yes, you're watching a future spouse reading, and these are messages coming from your future spouse, but there's actually, you know, there's a wondering beneath the surface. There's a doubt. You're hoping for it, but you're not really quite sure it's going to happen. And so that's why it's like your future spouse is coming through and they're saying, hold out to hope. You know, and it's in this doubt comes from, like, can I really have the kind of love that I want? Somebody that I can trust, someone who I'm going to be safe with, somebody who's not going to play mind games with me, who's not going to try to manipulate me. Are there people like that? Really? Are there people like that in the world? And I'm hearing that you know that there are, but there's this feeling like maybe, you know, and this is like energy coming from you. There's a sense of you knowing or wondering if you're getting in your own way, if you're blocking it out. Or maybe there's this recognition that for some reason you know love exists, but you only keep attracting the same kind of relationships and friendships and partnerships over and over. We do have friendship here. So, I mean, it's like there's this energy here of not feeling safe in even your friendships with people, because it seems like people, I feel like they flake out on you quite a bit. And that's been your experiences of relationships in general, no matter what kind they are. People maybe promise you things they rarely deliver on. I feel like you've been let down quite a bit. Yeah, I am picking up that you feel let down quite a bit. All right, let's see what other messages we have. Under forgiveness, we have the Knight of Swords. This is indicative of air energy, which is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This could be a specific person, or this just could be the energy. But like the Knight of Swords in reverse, ooh, talk about cutthroat. Win at all costs. There may have been some and that definitely double backs on this mental mind games manipulation. You could have actually had an experience with a diagnosable narcissist. If not, then it's just like you keep coming across these people who have very acute narcissist tendencies, right? And this just seems to be, why is the... Let me find out. Hold on. Why is the Tower in reverse here? You may be harboring, I was going to say unforgiveness. Jealousy came through, though. Don't shoot the messenger. No messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. With the Nine of Wands in reverse, you feel that people give up on you or give up on connections with you too easily. People, like, at the slightest hint of a challenge, which all relationships have, right? People bail the minute things get hard. And with the Tower in reverse here, it's like, it's not like at the slightest hint of challenges, because it's not in the upright position. This is not full Tower energy. This is in reverse. This is like, this isn't even, you know, this isn't the full energy of the Tower. This is like a little Tower, right? A little bit of conflict. Just, it's not the breaking down of the Tower. It's just the shaking of the foundation. It's right. People seem to bail out on you. They don't stick it out. That's the energy. And they don't just bail. Like, they get mean. With this Knight of Swords in reverse energy, they get mean. That's been your experience. As far as where jealousy may come in, maybe you're just, you know, jealousy of other people, because we have the Ten of Pentacles energy of seeing other people's long-standing, like maybe, you know, and this is just something, you know, it could be in your shadow. You may not even realize it, but there may be disdain, like a very subconscious, deep-seated, barely detectable to your conscious mind. But pay very close attention, pile 3, how you feel around people who have been in long-term relationships or have had long-term friendships, and the way that there may be envy and jealousy there towards those people. You know, and not to make you feel bad, you know, we all have things that we're jealous about and we're envious about. It's just part of, you know, our journey here as, you know, as a soul, part of our soul evolution journey, right? And first, you know, and forgiving these people forgiving those who bail on you too quick, forgiving those who aren't willing to stick it out with you through thick and thin. And I'm not feeling like you put a lot of people through a lot of stuff. I just think this is part of being in relationships and friendships. Sometimes things get rough. They get a little bit patchy. They get, you know, sour sometimes. And then most of the times people, you know, will work through it. You know, the Nine of Wands in the upright position to me is sticking it out energy, right? In the reverse position, it's like giving up. I feel like that's what people did at the first sign, the very first sign of conflict, the very first sign, the foundation is shaking. They bail out, right? And they don't just bail out. Before they bail out, there's usually some really nasty words, or that may have been your experience with a specific person, and that may be who needs to be forgiven, right? Not for them, not for their ease of mind, but for yours. You know, get that out of your energy so that you're not having to deal with it, you know. Your energy, you know, you deserve to feel happy. It's almost like, you know, harboring unforgiveness is one of the major blocks too. It's like you just want to be happy. You know, you just want to be in loving relationships and friendships and stuff like that. And I feel like you have this desire to want to be very generous and very giving towards others, but for some reason, and what it is this energy of unforgiveness, holding on to resentments and jealousy and envy and things like that towards other people who may be, or you may be seeing them as being in very, you know, harmonious, healthy, loving, compassionate, you know, relationships with those kinds of people. And, you know, releasing others, if you are harboring resentment or unforgiveness towards anyone, you know, releasing that energy, freeing them of the debt that you feel that they may owe you, so that you can move on and finally experience this peace and this joy and this happiness that has been within you this entire time. It's that forgiveness, that unforgiveness that is keeping you from being able to feel that has been inside you all this time. Why is gifts here? Yeah, see, I feel like you want to give to others, but you feel blocked. With the Page of Cups in reverse, too. So pages, to me, always talk about messages, communication. Why is the Page of Cups in reverse here? You want to express your love. Either you don't get the chance to, or you don't ever get to that point, or you don't feel comfortable doing it. I almost feel like this gift, you know, your gift could have something with expression, with messages, with communication, specifically in the areas of like love and affection, emotion, and stuff like that. Not being able to, yeah, not feeling confident to, with the Page of Wands in reverse. Like you want to be encouraging to others. This may be you not receiving this gift from others too. You may have a hard time receiving love messages and compliments from other people. And it could go both ways. You could feel, you know, one of your love languages could very well be words of affirmation. But you have a hard time receiving it, just like you may have a hard time expressing it. Words of love and affirmation. I feel like you're holding a lot of yourself in your relationships, pile 3. Why is friendship here? Yeah, we got 2 5s coming up, which talks about conflict. Change, conflict and change. Which, you know, change doesn't always have to bring up conflict, but here specifically it does. If you're thinking about a specific friendship or a specific bond between you and somebody, despite the differences, there is still the chance that it can be restored. There may be a feeling of abandonment or a fear of abandonment here that's in the process of being healed as you work through these inner conflicts with yourself. A lot of fire energy coming up here. A lot. We got the King of Wands, the Page of Wands, 5 of Wands. You may be in your head regarding a King of Wands energy, which a King of Wands is going to be like a masculine energy. Doesn't matter what the gender is. It's going to be somebody that you have experienced them being more in their inner masculine than their inner feminine, right? Male or female. But this is somebody who is, you know, confident, action-oriented. Could be a father figure for some of you. Somebody that is or was older than you, or around the same age of you. Just depends on, you know, if you're a Queen of Wands, then this person would be around the same age as you. I'm hearing older though. So fire sign is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And something, and this is falling under friendship. Could very well be a lover, but this could be somebody very much in their, you know, in their masculine energy. Very confident, very sure of themselves. That could be something too that you could harbor some jealousy or envy over. This could be somebody you're attracted to. You could have a crush on this person. This is wanting to pop out. It didn't quite though, but I just want you to see it's the 9 of Wands in reverse. So I'm feeling this is, and then Emperor energy in the reverse showing up at the bottom of the deck. I feel like something this person did, because we got the 5 of Wands energy here. It's conflicting energies. You know, and if this is not speaking of a specific person, this could be the kind of energy that is really triggering to you, right? People who just seem to have, like, I'm hearing they're always in the right place at the right time. In the spotlight. Very popular. People just seem to love them, like gravitate towards them. And something about that person or that kind of personality really triggers you. It makes you feel a certain type of way about yourself. It's really highlighting things within you. It's like it's triggering your shadow, basically. It's highlighting fears within you. I'm hearing a fear of rejection. Abandonment is coming out there with the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. When I look at the 5 of Wands, it's an air of competition, wanting to come out on top. And not quite, feeling like you're not quite measuring up to the competition. So with all of this energy coming out up under friends, it could be that you feel like you're being put in competition with others. Like you can't, like you're not, like there's this feeling like you can't just be friends with someone, right? And this is not necessarily coming from you, but this is how, like you're always feeling like you're having to compete for other people's attention. Like in your friendships, you feel like you're having to compete for their attention. Like it's not just being given to you freely. You feel like you have to work for it almost. But it's more of this competing energy. I have to compete for, you know, my friends or my lover's time and attention. It's like, you know, if you're seeing somebody or you're dating somebody, there's this, like, I have to compete with their friends and family for, you know, their attention, or I have to compete with my friends' attention against other friends in their life, or something like that, right? Okay, let's get this set up. We're going to start from this side and see what messages or guidance or advice they have about that. Yeah, like you're having to compete against work. Like people just, you feel like people are not willing to make the time for you or put forth the energy or the effort or the time into not just starting a connection with you, but maintaining it. I feel like people don't, like your experiences, it's not hard for you to make connections with people, but for some reason it's like your connections don't have long-standing ability. Very flighty energy that comes in and out of your life. Like I said, at the very start of, like, the, you know, of a tower, challenges within, you know, conflict within a connection, they bail. You worry about their authenticity too within these connections. You may, like, and then we had that Ten of Pentacles energy and working really hard, like overtime and stuff like that. I mean, you may use work as an escape. Because it's predictable, you know? It's predictable. What other messages do we have for this energy for pile 3? I'm just feeling like you question a lot of people's authenticity. It's difficult for you. You want to, you know, you want to forge these connections. You want to bare your heart and soul. You want to give people compliments and stuff, but I feel like you hold a lot of yourself back because you're just kind of like, they're going to take that love and run, right? They're going to take that love and run. Locked out. Excess, denied, and hard to reach. You feel like you're not there. What's this energy that's wanting to come through with sugarcoat? Surface level. Like, you can't seem to get past surface level with people. It's very, you know, it's like you're almost craving genuine, authentic, deep connection, and it's like you can't get past, you know, the mask, really. We got superficial expressions, not all that's cracked up to be, you know, platitudes, pleasantries. Things never seem to develop beyond that, and you almost feel locked out of people's hearts. Like, you know what I mean? I feel you're craving deep, genuine, sincere connection. And you've had a very difficult time, you know, at least up to this point, really being able to, like, you feel very disconnected from other people's hearts. Other, you know, wanting to do life with other people, and it's not, it seems unattainable. Like, it's been unattainable. Why is gifts here? There's so much you want to give. And it's almost like you don't ever get to that point. It's like you're bursting at the seams. Yeah, that's what you want. Wishes coming true, dreams coming into fruition. You're like, I have all this love to give, and it feels like other people won't let me give it. You're coming across all these closed receptacles. They may even be empty. Like, they're empty inside. You're like, I could fill you with so much love and gratitude and compliments and encouragement, and they just don't seem receptive to it. All you want is to be happy. You just want to go around filling other people up with love and happiness and encouragement, you know? And you keep encountering, it feels like you keep encountering these connections with people who are perfectly happy keeping things on a very superficial, you know, face value, shallow, I should say, shallow and superficial level. It's like you can tell they're empty inside, and they keep a lid on them so that they cannot receive love, they cannot receive compliments. The minute you try to open up that lid, pile 3, it's like that's the moment you try to open up that lid, pile 3, and pour into them. It's like they slam that lid shut and then they bolt. And I hope, and that's a very powerful message. I hope that you're realizing that talks about them and their ability to receive. For some reason, they are unable to receive love and encouragement. There's something going on with them that is not allowing themselves to be filled with love and encouragement and stuff like that. That, you know, that's not a you problem, that's a them problem. You may have been making it a you problem. Your future spouse is saying that's not on you, pile 3, that's them. You know? What other messages do we have here? You do have a lot of love to give, a lot. And you keep coming across people who aren't comfortable with it. And they're perfectly fine staying in the shallow end. Although they need it, right? They do need it. Clean up. Okay. Yeah, see? Your energy is healing in that way. And for people who aren't ready for it, it can feel very abrasive. Right? There are people who are not ready to be cleaned out in that way. It hurts. You know? And so you have this beautiful, amazing gift to love on people and to compliment people, to lift their spirits. But sometimes when you are coming across people who feel empty, dealing with their own, I was going to say ghosts and shadows, but what came through is demons, or what's wanting to come through is demons. I mean, they're dealing with some really challenging inner thoughts, inner feelings, you know, deeply hidden. It literally like rubs them the wrong way. You know, they got thorns they're dealing with inside, and then you're coming in there to kind of clean things up. And unfortunately, you know, plucking out those thorns hurts. And not understand what's happening to them, you know, rather than realizing, oh, this is healing, this is processing, this is trying to help me, right? Rather than realize that, they're like, oh, that hurt, I don't like that. Boom, they close the lid, they close the door on you, and they bolt because they don't understand what's going on. Your energy is very healing. Your love is very healing. Compliments, very healing. Your presence in itself is very healing, but it can trigger people who who aren't self-aware, who don't realize that there are things to heal. That's why they're comfortable keeping things that are very shallow and very superficial, because if they dive any deeper, that's where the pain is, right? That's where the pain is. All right, more messages, please. Let's get one more. I'm hearing if people are wanting to leave you may have a hard time just letting people leave. I'm actually hearing that may have been your experience in the past. I feel like you're getting better about that, though. If people want to leave, you're just like, doors open, don't let it hit you in the butt, you know? Something about communicating forgiveness, though, is really important. Saying it out loud or through a text or something like that, like, I forgive you. Some of you may be going through some 12-step program. This could be coming through in your communication, too. Maybe you're not realizing it. Overprotective of what? What are we overprotective of? We got obstacles with challenges and struggles. It's difficult for me because I'm trying not to, it can be difficult for people who, you know, are still stuck in a certain mode to really take an honest inventory of themselves and be like, you know, seeing a relationship as a two-way street. It's very possible, pile 3, that, and you may be unconscious to this may be something that you're not even aware of, but there may be parts of you that are very controlling of your environment because you're protecting, you know, it's like a self-protective measure, trying to keep the tower from fully activating. With controlling and communication here, it's like, be very careful, you know, that you're not also using your words or your communication to try to control and manipulate the outcome of a situation or of a connection. And with forgiveness here, of course, that can mean that, you know, forgive yourself for being that way, and then also forgive others who may have been that way with you. So using communication as a way to manipulate the outcome would be, you know, sending a text, hoping to get a specific outcome rather than just, you know, releasing the need for it to turn out a certain way, right? In other words, like, let's say you haven't talked to somebody in a while, or they're not, you know, they're not making plans with you, they're not showing up in a way that you want them to. And non-controlling communication is just letting somebody know how you feel, letting them know what you would like, and then just letting that communication be, right? It's not ultimatums. It's not, if you don't do this, this is going to happen. And ultimatums in and of themselves are not bad if you mean it, right? But when people use ultimatums, and they could have been doing this to you too. When people use ultimatums, it's usually a way to try to manipulate the outcome or to get the other person to behave or, you know, respond a certain way. And so with forgiveness here, it's like, forgive others if that's what they did to you, if they tried to manipulate and use mind games and use their words to try to control a certain outcome with you. And then also on the flip side of that, because oftentimes relationships are mirrors, right? On the flip side of that, if that is something that you have known yourself to do, forgive yourself for doing that as well. And also forgive yourself for maybe not being or feeling safe, for not feeling safe to speak your mind or, you know, compliment others or show up authentically. You know, a lot of us do have problems trusting others to allow ourselves to show up authentically. With reevaluate and then strings and mental mind games and manipulation. What happens, pile 3, if you allow yourself to get into a friendship with somebody, at least initially, and just allow them to show up how they're going to show up? Like, what happens if you release the expectation? In terms of what happens, you know, use it kind of like an experiment. See, you know, get into a friendship with somebody, and if all they do is show up in a very superficial and shallow manner, and it doesn't ever get, and you only ever see them, or they only ever communicate with you, you know, or get together every few months or something. Can you make peace with that? Can you forgive that person for being that way with you? And can you allow yourself, you know, because there's going to be different kinds of friendships and relationships with people based off of their own soul evolution and their own, you know, their own soul evolution as a person and as a soul, right? And so that may be the extent of what they're able to give. They can't go past shallow, and they can't go past superficial. And your ability to accept that and love that about that person, rather than requiring to them or wanting them to give you something that they cannot give, loving them even though they're shallow and superficial and they don't ever go beneath that. That may very well be what helps you to attract more people who are like you, who, you know, are deeper than that, have so much more to give. And I feel like these people do. That may actually help you unlock that, you know, space within that person where they're like, okay, you know, there is a lot more to them than what is shallow and what is superficial, because they're not showing up in, you know, authentically, right? What happens if you just allow people, you hold space for them to be who they are and where they're at in their soul evolution, and without requiring them to be or embody a certain kind of role in your life? What would happen if you did that? That's kind of like, almost like an experiment. See what happens, and, you know, when you drop expectations, timelines, and you just love people where they're at. Let's get a couple more cards for hope. We'll try it one more time. If not, then that means... Are there any more messages from this deck that want to come out? There's one. Okay. Ooh, yeah, we got shadows. Okay, that's what I thought. See? Celebrate your shadow. Celebrate shadows. Not just your shadow, but other people's shadows too. Loving yourself and other people right where they're at. I love how, look at the pink and the black together. It's like they can coincide, they can coexist. You know, ask yourself, what is it you're wanting to feel? You know, I feel like you crave deep connections, authentic connections. What feeling would you be getting from that? Probably happiness, right? A feeling of joy and celebration. And realizing that's who you are. You are that energy. You are that energy of a joyous celebration. You don't need someone else to show up in a specific way, you know, in order for you to feel that way around them. You can feel that way regardless. So that's almost kind of like, I don't want to say a challenge, it's like an experiment. Like your future spouse is like, just experiment and see, can you put yourself in this feeling of joyous celebration even around those people who are not able to show up authentically, you know, because they're disconnected from themselves. So it's going to be very difficult for them to connect with you or anybody else for that matter, right? Being in this energy of happy and joyous and celebration, even when you are in not just your own shadow, but you're in the presence of other people in their shadow, right? I actually feel, pile 3, you may be very sensitive to energy, particularly the energy of other people's shadows. You may have a lot of Scorpio energy in your chart. All right, we are going to close out with what actions or what things can you do to right now to align you quicker to whatever your desired timeline or, you know, reality is, whatever that desired timeline is, whether, you know, it's manifesting in your future spouse faster or experiencing, you know, connected, authentic, reliable connections with others, both, right? Heart wall. Let's get one more. Is there anything else that wants to come out from this deck? Okay, we'll do with that. We got heart wall and incantation. So here we have heart. Your heart and feelings are on lockdown. Time to let love in. I just said that, let love in. Walls keep everyone out, good and bad, including yourself. Try using boundaries instead. And then we also have a thought, or incantation with a thought or saying with conviction on a constant loop. There's a current incantation that is creating a difficult experience for you at this time. Switch it up and put a new incantation on repeat during physical movement, which anchors that incantation into your nervous system and your subconscious. It makes it true, right? So there's a current like affirmation or a conviction that's set on loop. You may not even be aware of it. It could be, you know, real love is hard to find. Real love doesn't exist, or solid connections don't exist, or something like that, that is making your experience, you know, out here very, you know, in the 3D very, very difficult for you. And you can switch that, you know, by affirming or, you know, incanting. I don't even know if incanting is a word. The opposite. So like if that incantation is real love is hard to find, and that's what is, you know, on loop in your subconscious, you can start affirming and using an incantation of real honest love is everywhere. I am love. Hard, you know, love is not hard to find. Love is everywhere. You can say true honest love is everywhere. Love, you know, I am love. Love is for me. I am lovable, whatever that may be, and loop it, loop it, loop it, loop it, especially during exercise. Then with heart wall, yeah, it's like heart on lockdown. For those of you who are, you know, up to it, look up the emotion code and heart wall. This could be a literal energetic wall around your heart that could be serving as a, not only a barrier, it could be, it's serving as a barrier, but it's also serving as something that is manifesting these same relationships with people where it's like you can't seem to get past superficial and shallow. It's like you are encountering other people with heart walls. There's something called, there's a book called The Emotion Code by Bradley Nelson, and he talks about it's an actual energetic wall around your heart. It can be made of different things, different materials energetically, and it can be different widths in terms of how big it is, right? And it's made of stuck, frozen, trapped emotion, and you can, there's actually a way for you to systematically break that heart wall down, and he teaches you how to do it. You can YouTube it, you know, YouTube or Google The Emotion Code by Dr. Bradley Nelson. It's not that hard to do in terms of breaking it down, and honestly it can just start with allowing yourself to feel whatever it is that's coming up to be felt. Okay, you guys, we're going to end the reading there. I hope that it resonated. If it did, make sure you are smashing that like button for me. Comment below, let me know what pile you picked. Let me know how it resonated. Share and subscribe if you feel led to do so. I'll see you guys at your next reading. Thanks, pile 3.